Greetings, fellow captains. I am your host, Brent Justice, and welcome to my gaming channel, Justice Gaming. I am on the main startrekonline.com webpage today to go over some news. We have a new, quote, season of Star Trek Online launching, and I want to go over all of that. I have not completely read the news on this, so this will be new to me as well. As always, I will be covering all of this new content on my gaming channel on YouTube, so be sure to check it out, subscribe, and you will see new videos posted with playthroughs of these missions and patrols and other things that are being released. So, from the webpage, let's start with announcing Star Trek Online Unraveled. And as we can see here, this is Kumarke, who is our Lukari contact. So something with the Lukari here. Let's see. It's coming to the PC May 9th, so by the time you see this, it should be just being released. PC captains, get ready. The next major Star Trek Online content update is coming 1 week from today in Star Trek Online Unraveled. Admiral Kumarke returns to the spotlight, played by Kipley Brown. Following events from the conclusion of the Mirror Universe story arc Terran Gambit, your captain will embark on a humanitarian scientific mission with Admiral Kumarke to stabilize the Nakul Sun. However, this mission is interrupted by a discovery. A trans-dimensional reality vortex is disrupting space-time throughout the multiverse. A conflict ensues with the Tholians, who reveal that constant use of time and dimensional travel has caused these vortices, and your captain is partly to blame. Featuring a new episode, so we're going to get a new playable mission, a TFO, we're getting a new TFO and new patrols, and an update to the Infinity Lockbox. Star Trek Online Unraveled will take you deep into the final frontier. And that's not all. In celebration of the flagship of Star Trek Online, we decided to give the Enterprise F her own version of the classic Star Trek introduction. Check it out below and let Captain Sean regale you with those magical words, space the final frontier. I'm not going to watch the video here for copyright issues, but please watch it on your own. I will also watch this video on my own after the recording here so that I can see what they're talking about. But that sounds interesting, so there you go. So I like the sounds of this because it kind of makes sense, right? We've seen things, even warp drive, for example, in Star Trek The Next Generation, where if you misuse something, it can cause damage and devastation to space. I mean, the warp drive caused that area of space, and they had to like redesign warp drives for a while and, figure that out or whatever. I forgot what episode that was, but that was an interesting one. So I can kind of see this, like all this multi-universe traveling and time traveling we've been doing lately has possibly repercussions from that. Okay, that's an interesting idea, so I'm intrigued by that. But it does bring up a question, and I wonder, what does future Starfleet think about that? Where are the time cops from the 29th century? Why aren't they ever doing anything to fix all this stuff, right? They're supposed to be watching out for the timeline, are they not? Where are they? All right, so let's see. That's pretty much it right there. That's the announcement of Unraveled and letting us know what we're going to get. A new mission, a new TFO, and new patrols. So now let's go to the next thing. In addition to that, it looks like we're also getting a Looming Threats. I guess what they're calling this is Unraveled is the name of the season. And then Looming Threats is the name of the event to get gear or something. The Looming Threats event, you can unlock a new space set. So this will allow us to unlock a new space set. So the Tholians perch atop their webs, waiting to entrap you, captains. Do you dare draw closer? From May 9th until June 8th, so about a month, you can participate in the Looming Threats event. This new event will pit you against the Terran Empire in scenarios new and familiar, and give you the chance to claim an epic reward, the Crystal Harmonics space set. Are we finally getting a space set that is connected with the crystalline entity? Because I have been wanting something like that for a long time. You guys may or may not know it. I have a character in the game. It's a Klingon engineering. It's actually was my first Klingon character I ever created. And she is set up, I kid you not, she is set up completely 100% with everything to do with crystalline entity hardware. I have anything that's related to like crystalline entity powers on that character, ground and space. So to get a space set that might be related to that, wow, that set is going on that character, I can tell you that much. Participating in this event grants you daily progress towards the grand prize, the Crystal Harmonic Space Set. The grand prize requires 40 daily progress. So I guess we're going to get like 2 daily per day or something like that. 40 daily progress, and captains can earn daily progress once per account per day by playing either the new episode or a task force operation or any of the other episodes of TFOs in the event. Completing the episode or a TFO awards 2 points. Yep. While completing a patrol gets you 1 point. And so you can play Wish Upon a Star, which will be the new episode, Leviathan, which is the new TFO, Azure Nebula Rescue, which is a TFO, Days of Doom, TFO, Vault Ensnared, interesting, TFO, and then the 2 new patrols I guess we're getting is Jupiter Gauntlet and Bringers of War. So if you just want to get your 2 points per day easy, play the new TFO, or play the mission over and over and over again. You'd have to do 2 of the regular patrols to get, I wonder if the new patrol, no, I guess all the patrols are 1 point. So what I meant is, yeah, play the TFO. The TFO will give you 2 points. So the TFO will give you 2 points, or the mission will give you 2 points. But the patrols, it doesn't matter even if they're new or old, will just give you 1 point. Okay, so you're probably just going to want to play the TFO every day. That's what I'll end up doing. Once captains have obtained 40 points on their account, they can claim the Crystal Harmonic Space Set. After that, the event will still be playable, but you get scaling dilithium rewards up to that. We know how that works, same as other past ones. I guess the Crystal Harmonic Space Set, I take that back. It could be related to the Tholians. I mean, this whole thing is related to Tholians. So maybe it's not the crystalline entity. Maybe it's more about the Tholians. Okay. But there's already a Tholian space set. That's the thing. There's a Tholian space set already. It does Tetrion stuff. And chaining. It does like chaining Tetrion stuff. So there's already that. Captains will also have the option to purchase the remaining progress in the event with Zen. The price for this buyout will be prorated, blah, blah, blah. Let's read about this Crystal Harmonic Space Set. I'm interested. Obtaining the grand prize grants you 4 pieces of space gear to use on your favorite starship, depending. These items introduce a new mechanic, the Tholian Warp Crystal. Okay, so this is Tholian. It's a Tholian set. It's not a crystalline entity, so I take back everything I just said at the top of this news post. Erase all that. This is a Tholian-based set. When a warp crystal is created, it will wait until a ship collides with it. If the ship is an enemy, it'll explode, but if the ship is an ally, it'll grant them secondary shield. So this is just a crystal that like sits in space and you hope that a ship hits it? Doesn't sound that useful to me. I guess we'll have to see it in action. Omnidirectional interlacing Tetrion beam. So again with the Tetrion stuff, they're keeping the Tetrion energy type on the Tholians. The omnidirectional interlacing Tetrion beam array offers a 360-degree firing arc in addition to being able to utilize the standard function. The weapons share an equipped limit with other crafted and weapon pack omnidirectional. So it's a... What makes it interlacing? What does interlacing mean? I get omnidirectional. There's other omnidirectional weapons in the game. I get Tetrion beam. What's interlacing? Does that mean it's like the other Tholian abilities where it chains the effect to other enemies? Perhaps? That's my guess. A Tholian nucleating singularity core. Tholian nucleating singularity core creates a number of Tholian warp crystals when a foe is defeated. Additionally, it increases hull capacity based on shield power. The warp cores are modified with Tholian crystallization technology. They use warp power to harden hulls and create Tholian warp crystals. But again, about these crystals, do they follow the enemy? Is the enemy drawn toward them, or do they just sit in space doing nothing? Because why would the enemy run into a crystal in space? So I'm a little interested in how that's going to work out. Also interesting that it's a singularity core. Tholian nucleating warp core. Oh, I guess, yeah, okay. So that would be for the Romulans. And then you get the warp core for everyone else. The nucleating, yeah, same thing for that. So you got a singularity core or warp core that does that, depending on your faction. All right, Tholian enhanced EAC shield. Tholian enhanced emergency ablative crystal. Okay, this is a heck of a word here. Tholian enhanced emergency ablative crystalline shield. Try to say that 3 times fast. Let's do it. Tholian enhanced emergency ablative crystalline shield. Tholian enhanced emergency ablative crystalline shield. Tholian enhanced emergency ablative crystalline shield. Oh my gosh, I did it. Now you try it and let me know in the comments if you succeeded, because holy crap, I pulled that off first time. Wow. Okay. It is a covariant shield array, so it's going to have a very high shield strength, which has been enhanced with Tholian technology. It provides an emergency secondary shield when overall shield capacity is low. You know what that shield's going to be real good on? A tank build, right? A build where you want to, take in a lot of damage, or you want to build something that can take in a lot of damage. Because it's a covariant shield, so it's going to have a high shield strength. But then on top of that, once the shields start getting low, boom, you got a secondary shield. Holy crap. That's going to be a good build for some kind of cruiser or something. I mean, I guess it could also be used on a escort. I mean, really, it could be used for anything. Tholian crystalline interlacers, console universal. And this console utilizes Tholian technology to enhance Tetrion damage and applies a Tholian web on the target. The web holds the target in place, so more web stuff. Now that we were talking about all this Tholian stuff, I do have a character that is a Tholian build. You guys might not know that character, but she is completely geared up with everything Tholian. I have a tier 6 Tholian ship on her. She's got the complete reputation Tholian ship stuff, space stuff. She's completely geared up in space for everything Tholian. So I would actually like to try this set on her, because she does all the Tholian web stuff. She can do every Tholian web trick. So it'd be interesting to put another Tholian web trick on her so she could do more web stuff, Tholian web stuff. Wow, that would be really cool. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, Tholian Crystal Harmonics, 4-piece set. So of course you get a two-piece bonus, which is increased crit chance and crit severity when using Tetrion. So here's the key with all this Tholian stuff. You have to use Tetrion damage if you really want to benefit. Tetrion nucleation, chance to hit, on hit to create a crystal when using Tetrion damage, and then stochastic warp field nucleation. All your Tholian warp crystals become active. Oh, okay. So when you have the 4-piece bonus, it says here all of your Tholian warp crystals become active and they seek out the nearby foe and detonate on impact. So there you go. If you have all 4 pieces on the ship, boom, your Tholian warp crystals will seek the foe. They will follow the foe. That was my question, and they answered it here at the very end. Well, thank you for that. So there you go. I'm going to get the complete 4-piece set, and I'm putting this on my character, and I'll make a video about it because, yes. All right, let's go to the next thing. Face the Leviathan. So this is the new TFO. Face the gauntlet down the spine of the other. As a team captain, see how you fare. So this sounds like a V'ger-esque, the Terran Empire V'ger storyline kind of TFO. Kind of going backwards a little bit in the story progression here. It looks like this is just a story I'm not going to read this whole story here because this is not explaining the TFO. This is just a background story of the TFO. But it says here, at the end of the Terran Gambit story arc, you face the power of the other in a terrifying and thrilling way by piloting your starship directly down its central trench. The hammering battle is coming back to Star Trek Online, but this time you'll face it with a team at your side. In the upcoming TFO, Leviathan, a team of 5 starship captains will again forge a path down the back of the other with all 3 trenches open for battle. You'll have to destroy the tech protecting the other, rescue trapped allied vessels, and face more than one compiler when Leviathan comes to PC on May 9th. So there you go. It's basically the trench run that we did with V'ger, and you get to play it as a TFO now with other people. So that makes sense. I didn't see that coming, but I get it now that I've read it. So that sounds like a lot of fun. Anyway, you play it, get 2 points toward the event progress. So that's what I'll be doing. And 2 new patrols. I don't know about you guys. I love patrols in this game. I always have. I think patrols have not been treated fairly or well in this game. They used to be in the very beginning part of the game. They were actual part of your missions. Like it said, go do these 3 patrols, and then you would claim it as a mission, and it would give you more points for doing 3 patrols. It used to be part of your leveling up. It's not anymore. Now it's all optional. You just fly to the planet and hope to see if there's a patrol there or not. Okay, but some of those patrols are really cool because, to me, it embodies what Starfleet and the Federation is, exploration. And a lot of that is just like scanning 5 artifacts on a planet, boom, you're done. That's it. But guess what? That's what you do when you're in Starfleet. So to me, the patrols feel very, very true to the franchise. And I don't think they've been treated well in the game. But anyway, we're getting 2 new patrols, so I'll be playing these. And they have an optional hard mode. With the launch of Star Trek Online Unraveled, captains on PC will be able to defend classic Starfleet locations from a myriad of threats. In 2 new patrols, Bringer of War and Jupiter Gauntlet, these new patrols will both pit you against a random type of opponent, making them run slightly different. They are also the first patrols to feature a new hard mode. The difference between the 2 modes is entirely in the enemies you will face. So, normal mode gives you Mokai Klingon, Herc, Ilachi, Fakiri, Borg, Breen, Tholian. Hard mode gives you Vodwar, Voth, Iconian, Nakul, Zenkethi, and Undine. It doesn't sound that much harder. I've dealt with all those people in other TFOs. In this patrol, defend the iconic Jupiter station from increasing waves. So it's increasing waves. Can you defend all 3 points and survive? So I guess you would have... So this is going to be the hard part here. It sounds like you have to defend 3 points, which is always hard in a team because sometimes people fly to just one area and they don't look at and see that there's other areas that need defending. They don't spread out. They don't, so you kind of have to be aware of your surroundings, see what other players are doing and where they're going, and go to the point where no one else is going. And it's like, that's now your responsibility. You actually need to just see, because your team, it does not operate as a team. So yeah, hard mode could be hard on a pickup group team for sure, because of that fact. The enemies don't sound too hard to me, but I guess because it's a pickup group, could be hard. Bringer of War. Battle in the skies over Mars, saving as many groups from the surface as you can while dodging your determining foes. Will you focus on saving lives, knowing that will leave greater numbers of enemies for you to fight later on? Both of these, so that kind of sounds like the other one they already have, though, where you have to beam people to the ships from Mars. Sounds very similar to that. But I guess it says here, if you focus on saving lives, you'll get a greater number of enemies for the fight later. So that could make it more difficult. Anyway, I'll be playing the patrols. What am I saying? I am so stupid. This is not a TFO. This is patrols. Ignore everything I just said. I'm really doing poorly. Forgive me. I am doing so bad on this. My mind is somewhere else. This says these are patrols. This is not a TFO. You're not playing with a team. You're not playing with 5 other players. This is solo. So you have to defend all 3 you have to defend all 3 of these points yourself. By yourself. Unless you do like invite people to team, and like you can create teams and do it with multiple people. So I mean, I'm sure people will be doing that too. But it's not a TFO. You can go into these and do these solo. So I guess I'll try the normal mode first. Maybe I'll do the hard mode. Subscribe if you want to see that. We'll see. Okay, and the not the last one. No, the last one. Let's end this with a new Infinity lockbox, or an addition to it. It's being updated with the Gorn Hunter Pilot Raider, and the Low-Buy store is getting new items from Strange New Worlds. Everyone eats to live is to kill. Combat is merely an imperfect hunt. When done properly, taking a ship should not feel like combat or even like killing. It should feel like eating. The Gorn Hunter Pilot Raider is a perfect hunter, beautiful in its rejection of arbitrary symmetry, brilliant in its brutality. Yeah, okay, be strong, clever, okay. So it's a Gorn Hunter Pilot Raider. I guess is this from Strange New Worlds? I think so. The ship features a Commander Tactical / Pilot Special Bridge Officer seat and Lieutenant Commander Universal / Miracle Worker Specials Bridge Officer seat. Tier 6 Faction KDF. So does that mean you can't play it on other factions? This is a KDF only ship? I guess so. Hull modifier 1.4, shield modifier 0.84, weapons 5, aft weapons 1, device slots 2, Commander Tactical Pilot, Lieutenant Commander Universal Miracle Worker, Lieutenant Commander Universal, Lieutenant Universal, Ensign Universal, 5 Tactical, 5 Engineering, 1 Science. Has a lot of engineering and tactical. Base turn rate 20, impulse modifier, inertia plus 20 to weapons, console, universal, lure team command, can equip dual cannons, battle cloak, raider flanking, experimental weapon, plasma, incendiary bombard, pilot maneuvers. It's got precise weapon systems, which is the Starship Mastery Package for Raider. Now I have to admit, I don't think I've ever flown the Raider type in Star Trek Online. I might have done it once off camera, but I really am not into that style of flying. To me, it's just too much. I take too much damage. I mean, yeah, maybe I guess you do a lot of damage, but I don't know. It's not my type, I'll just say that. But if you're into Raiders, there you go. Gorn Plasma Quad Cannons. The Gorn Hunter comes equipped with modified plasma quad cannons instead of the usual damage over time proc. These proc to buff to foe damage resistance that only applies to damage over time abilities. Lure Team Command. Activating this console deploys a cloaked lure team toward target enemy vessel. When they get into position, they create a fiendish trap for nearby adversaries, making them on the captain's view screen. When the captain's ship approaches a marked ship with 5 kilometers, the trap is sprung on that ship, detonating plasma charges on its hull and disabling its shields. Each lured vessel can be detonated separately or together as the captain desires. The lure team may be deployed at a great range while cloaked. The console provides passive increase to damage over time and passive bonus to plasma damage. So there you go. And it's got a starship trait called Complex Plasma Fires. Each time you use an energy weapon firing mode, your plasma weapon volleys will add a stacking plasma damage over time effect to hit foe. This DOT stacks up to 100 times. If the targeted shield facing us down, deal additional plasma damage. Energy weaponing firing modes are beam at will, beam overload, cannon scatter volley, cannon rapid fire, surgical strikes, reroute reserves to weapons, and exceed rated limits. That's interesting. It's got a modified plasma. It causes spitting fires, which is a type of fire that frequently creates gouts of ejecta that spread the hazard over the surface of the ship. This has a cumulative effect, eventually bringing down even the largest of prey. Wow. So I bet this thing does a lot of damage. It's just not my type, but yeah. And it's got a genetic resequencer, space trait, pike maneuver. So this is the Strange New Worlds stuff. When deploying mines, pike maneuver grants a damage buff to subsequent mines and bestows a short burst of speed and maneuvering to escape out of range. We've got a new universal console called Charged Positron Matrix Bomb. This bomb detonates, creating a diversion that attracts enemy ships. After a short duration, the bomb triggers a second detonation and draws enemies toward the center of the explosion. While equipment of this type would typically be considered a weapon, it requires a constant direct connection to your ship's power core and must therefore be equipped as a console. Okay. Interesting. And Phaser Pistol 2259. 2259 phaser pistols have a secondary firing mode that shoots a net of bolts that damage several enemies in front of you. Each shot has increasing chance to stun targets. Phaser Compression Pistol 2259. 2259 compression bolt pistols have a secondary firing mode that hits a single target with a high damage bolt of energy and a 50% chance to stun targets on top of the normal phaser ground weapon stun chance. The Tricorder. Wow, that's a universal kit. The Tricorder 2259C provides passive bonuses. Additionally, it has the active ability, which increases the kit performance of the next kit module used. Magellan Staff. Ooh, another staff weapon. You guys know how I love my staff weapons. The Magellan Staff weapon is used by the Lunarian Guard, who are dedicated to protecting the First Servant. It functions both as a ranged energy weapon and a melee staff. Its primary fire deals polaron damage, similar to a rifle. Its secondary fire deals large concussive blasts that deals damage and knocks back affected targets. The secondary also exploits targets. In melee mode, the staff deals extra polaron damage and exposes targets. Each strike has a chance to knock down targets. Defeating foes has a chance to disintegrate them. I think I want this staff. I do love my staff weapons. Magellan Guard Uniform. A costume for the Magellan Guard uniform used by the Lunarian Guard, who are dedicated to protecting the First Servant. Magellan. Magellan? Whatever. Cool looking outfit. Would definitely possibly use it. Okay. I think that's everything. I covered everything. So this is Star Trek Online Unraveled, coming out May 9th, which from this recording is right around the corner. By the time this is up, it should be out or close to it. So I will be playing all of this content as usual. I will be playing the new mission, the new TFO, the new patrols. I will grind for, I should say, the new Tholian 4-piece set. I want that, and I'm going to use it on my Tholian character. In fact, maybe I should play all of these things with my Tholian character. I call it a Tholian character. She's not a Tholian. She just looks like one. No, she's not a Tholian, but she's just got all the gear that a Tholian setup would have, which actually she's not that powerful, or not as powerful as I'd want her to be. Her weapon damage, Tholian weapons are really not that great for doing damage. Yeah, they're good at bringing down shields, sure. But just for doing damage, Tetrion weapons just aren't very punchy for doing damage. All they do is bring down shields. So really, she's not extremely powerful. But it's more of a theme thing for me. It's like, hey, here's the theme. I did it. Yay. But maybe putting on this new Tholian space set would be better than what I have on now with the Reputation Tholian, the Nukara, whatever, set that's on there. So, anyway, I'm looking forward to all this. Unraveled, it's coming. I'm going to play all of it, and it's all going to be on my gaming channel, Justice Gaming. So if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, and you will see that new content. Be sure to check it out. Highly suggest it. As always, when new content is released in Star Trek Online like this, I will cover it always. That's what I wait for. That's what I need. That's what I'll bring you. New content covered ASAP. So thank you all for watching this video. If you like what you see here, consider subscribing, and see you all in the next one.